It's thinking about it. Do the thinking dance. Hi! Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh gosh. My name is Diamond.
Sorry.
I am here with Jocelyn, Thomas, Penny, David, and Allison, and we are playing Starfall, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure featuring the Lasers and Liches 2.5 supplement. When last we left our protagonists, they had just finished interviewing a teacher about some missing children. And before they go and interview an old salt, I did have a question for Friendly, which is, do you have AEN goggles?
Yes.
Okay. Did you use any of the time between A and B to look up Lord of the Trapdoor
Yes.
on your AEN goggles? All right. Would you make a tool check for me? I'm considering your history check as part of that too, so
Okay.
don't worry. I just want to see how your Google Foo does. It's
Would
more
that
like
be
this.
Investigation or a tool proficiency?
Tool proficiency.
But it's intelligence. So 16, 21. No, 20.
So there is a necromancer who started calling himself Lord of the Trapdoor 250 years ago. It's not exactly, it's in that range right there. Came onto the magical scene, caused a ruckus, and disappeared, functionally speaking. What you can get is that he was pretty young and pretty violent. Like one of those like it's not a great reach to say that most of the people who are necromancers are probably not the nicest people, right? But he was like probably like on his way to becoming a supervillain, maybe. And so you have some letters that you can find about him, old, like functionally what are old blog posts or blog posts about people who are looking into this magical history. Of course there's a
Right.
magical history forum. Why not? Yep.
Right. I mean, just like the clerics of the code sub altnet is, I mean, that shit's fire.
Reddit for code clerics, absolutely. And there's some interesting information about like doing things that even necromancers weren't great with, like the making friends with rogue taxidermists and trying to bring multis back to life sort of things. And there's a not exactly unspoken, but in the way that things are implied in message boards, that he had a mommy fetish.
Sure, why not?
So remember, Friendly's the only one with this information right now.
Unless he shares it.
Unless he shares it. But does he ever? He never seems to, does he?
No, he just talks about
Transmission of
information.
knowledge is every bit of as important to the code as the collection and retention of it. So I absolutely do. But I mean, I curate it. I'm gonna I'm gonna give them the like link page and you know get it set up.
Well, I think
You know.
it's only you and Tuesday that have the AEN goggles.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Yeah.
to make a version of it.
You got a snake version of like two things right now. Like, chill. I'm teasing. I really am teasing.
So
Yeah, you could use the AN glasses as a bathtub.
I was thinking as a projection TV personally, but yeah.
Hey.
yeah, I mean it's one illusory script ritual away from getting copied multiple times, so no problem.
Yeah.
Right, magical Xerox.
The other big thing that hits you about this is at some point you get his first name, Abera. with 2
Yeah.
R's, but I'm not rolling them for reasons. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I imagine that as because we're walking away from the school as he's compiling this information, he immediately makes the connection with the odd line in the poem of a bear became a bandit.
Yeah.
That gets quite clearly put on. So I think we found our link, and that will be like uh, Friendly will pipe up as we're headed to the next place. Like I've discovered some quite significant information. When we have a moment to stay in one spot, perhaps when we get to this Eggs fellow, I'll have something to share, sort of all at once. There's necromancy at the heart of this.
Everyone gets to have feelings about that while we're walking to the next place.
I mean, I kind of figured.
So, any other? So it's a little bit of a walk to it. You're heading towards the area of town that I will give you a description of what it's like on the way, and then if you want to have any conversation on the way, we can do that. But the area of town that you're heading to is less polite looking than all the areas you've been so far. It's not that it's like, this isn't like there's an area of town full of gold sellers or gold buyers and check cashing companies. It's more like the people who live here don't really care as much about the keeping up of appearances that the rest of Royford is really into.
There's no neighborhood beautification society in this part.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're essentially like as far south in town as you can get. And
I look for the
right
tracks. Have we crossed them?
tracks? What?
Are we on the wrong
Are we
side
on
of the
the wrong
track?
side now?
Oh. No, you're still within city limits. There is a wrong side of the tracks, but that's somewhere else. There, the place you're going is right up on the water, and as you approach it, it is in fact partially on the water, where there's a wraparound porch that's built out onto the water of the river as well. So any conversation you want to have walking up to that point.
I'm not feeling conversational. I'm trying to find this guy because time is a factor.
So Utada, where are you from?
You can just make up a city name. It's fine. There's
Edo.
plenty in pop.
Nice there this time of year. Engage
Well,
in
we're
small
just
talk.
coming out.
It's how you know
We're just coming out of the rainy season.
Must be lovely.
Does anyone want to role play anything other than small talk?
Banter,
Please.
banter, banter, banter.
Please.
Banter,
I
banter, banter, banter.
I understand it's important, but come on.
Yeah. But generally engage with Utada in small talk.
Sumosaur, snacking.
Sumo Sonora will snack and offer snacks to the rest of the group. They're like sweet buns.
Empress takes one, just because thinking food.
You're a snake.
I know.
You eat
She's
insects.
not paying attention.
Oh. Okay.
She's not paying attention. Something got handed to her. She's just gonna grab it out of reflex.
Okay.
She's not paying attention to
Okay.
it. Sorry.
All right. So unless someone has something, you approach said. Let's. I mean, it's a house, but it's not big, but it's not quite a cabin.
Is there a door?
There's absolutely a door.
I politely knock on the door.
You hear a. You ever hear a voice and you can imagine the crusty beard around it?
Yeah.
It's that voice.
Yep.
I can't do that voice as well as I'd like to, but it's that voice and says, "Who is it?"
Sorry to bother you. We just need a moment of your time.
I ain't buying.
We're not selling.
You hear a thump, thump, thump coming over to the door, but it's like ka-thunk, ka-thunk. And as it's opening, well, if you're not selling, why are you bothering me? And it opens, and man, you have never seen someone who so clearly says retired sailor.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's built of salt and barnacles.
The platonic ideal.
He looks like he looks like Will Turner's dad
Yes,
from Pirates of
only
the Caribbean.
quite a bit shorter, as he's also a dwarf
Mm-hmm.
with a
Of course
peg
he's a
leg.
dwarf.
Of course he's a dwarf
course
with a
he's a
peg
dwarf.
leg. This is
It's more of a tree stump.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, though, dwarves, at least in this universe, are not particularly keen to water or sailing. So it is a little unique. I swear. It is, because I want it to be.
So sorry to bother you, sir.
Are you
some-
really?
Yes, actually, but urgent matters take precedent. Some children have gone missing, and we have reason to believe they went to the house. And so we are going to retrieve them, and we were told you might have information that could help us in retrieving 2 innocent children.
Who told you that?
And
Everybody.
I list all the people we've spoken to.
There's coin in it.
I list the mayor, his wife, the nanny, the teacher.
He lights up to there's coin in it. Oh, so you're buying? Well, come on in.
That's what's required.
I have all people know information that's value.
You don't need to be fancy about it.
I
Anyway.
literally do.
So he invites you in. There's nowhere to sit.
I don't
He
try.
sits in the only available place to sit.
I don't even look.
Everything's tin and pale. Sumosaur, how much do you weigh?
Oh God, we're gonna sink his house.
I
Yes, we are.
Say again, Sumosaur.
I weigh 400 pounds.
You want to roll an insight check real quick?
Yeah. Oh.
Please just get in the boat.
It's not a boat, it's a house.
Water.
It's a house that wishes it was a boat.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to
If
sink it.
Dinosaur gets in, it will be a boat.
Hey. What'd you roll?
An 18.
Okay. The way that it immediately like creaks under you, you need to walk extremely carefully and be very careful with how you place your weight, or you may in fact sink the house.
I will begin the ritual of Tensor's disc, or the floating disc,
What are you doing?
accommodating for my friend's immense bulk.
No, say it clearly and in simple words.
Our friend weighs a lot because they're very muscular, and we're taking the weight off of your house.
Are you trying to do something in my house? Why am I giving him a Texan accent? I'm so disappointed in myself. Are you
'Cause-
trying to do something to my house?
No.
We're trying not to do something to your house.
Did you hear it creak as they stepped? We're trying to rectify that.
Shh. Listen. And you hear constant creaking. Yeah, I heard a creak. God damn it. I'm really upset with that accent right now.
Well, they're supposed to be closed-minded, so you default to Texan.
Dang it.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna continue with the ritual.
If that does anything weird, I'm gonna. Well,
It's
you don't
gonna-
want to know what.
It's gonna create a disc for our friend to stand on, so your house doesn't have to bear their weight. That's all it's gonna do.
You're gonna do what? Turn down our gold?
He just glares, and he's not saying anything. Great time to ask a question.
Well, while Friendly is ritualizing, as I said, we are about to venture into that house. What can you tell us that other people can't?
Well, I
Lives are
survived
at
it.
stake. Yes, which makes you exceptional.
And he knocks on his peg leg. He says, I survived it. Only one limb down. It's better than most. Jocelyn.
Empress is just giggling throughout this whole thing. Hissingly giggling because of the accent and just how snarky he's being towards Tuesday, who's just snarking back while being polite, and she loves it.
I haven't begun to snark, just for the record. I'm being very polite.
It's still hilarious.
What can you
Where-
tell us that other people can't? As a survivor, you're the only one in town that we know of that we can talk to. We're trying to save 2 children. What can you tell us?
That house should have been burned down
That's very clear.
before I got here. That it knocks you out, it makes you see things. Sometimes it chews parts of you off. You should definitely bring a defragger. You know, someone who can deal with corruption. And there's ghosts. It's not right.
You need
As
an
a-
old priest and a young priest.
As a druid, am I?
The-
Say again, Jocelyn?
As a druid, am I any of that? Because I'm lost.
You're not a ghost or a young priest or an old priest. No.
Or a
I think-
defragger?
I think she meant defragger. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Unless you guys took Cure Cause Corruption, which is a spell that some classes have access to, then no. I think that's the only one in the Lasers and Liches that kind of anyone can have. Or not anyone, but classes other than the Defragger can have that can cure corruption. But Defraggers do it professionally. They're like corruption paladins.
Mm-hmm.
Could maybe. Again, I don't know. Does Friendly have it?
Don't know.
You
And Utada's still working on her character sheet, so we don't know yet.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
You're fine. You're fine. I will do on our first few runs.
We got 20 minutes warning. It's like, and you're playing now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In this new system you've never experienced before, or new supplement. Anyway, where's your brain?
You said it bites you. Did the house itself bite off your leg? Did you see that happen, or just you felt something bite it off and then no more leg?
He like squints one like eye at you, and you can really see like the crazy old man eyebrows at him from him. Like looks at you, and then throws his head back and laughs and claps and smacks his leg and says, "No, the house didn't bite me. Bunch of bag of. It was Do you ever see a gelatinous cube?
Yes.
So it was like that, only liquid and poison,
So an ooze.
but a thinking one.
I don't like when they think.
Mm-mm.
Well, it
Makes things more
attached to
difficult.
part of my leg, and it was lose the leg or lose my life, so I lost the leg.
How far did you get into the house before shit went crazy?
Shit went crazy when I walked in the house. But I
As soon as you
left.
crossed the threshold.
Yes. But I left after I lost my leg.
I
You gonna
didn't blame
ask
you.
me why I was there, or are we gonna
That-
talk about what happened? Are you
Both?
gonna ask me a more interesting question? Is what he's trying to say.
Uh, both? We're gathering information before we venture in ourselves.
Tell us the story in your own words.
You could say please.
Please.
Just throw a coin at it.
He catches it and bites it.
It's poison. He's dead.
Better not be, man. Is it poison friendly?
No, it's not. No, the bag of poison money is in a different pouch.
I mean, oops. I always get those backwards.
Insidious.
Man, poison money would make the next Assassin's Creed game better.
Yeah.
Throw that at the
really
bards. God. So I was a ship with a couple of young and interesting siblings. Their parents were, well, I don't know. I know one of them was a rye, and the other one was a bunch of different things in her. For those of you watching at home, a rye is a kind of elf to the Lasers and Liches setting, which takes hyper evolves. They take on specific traits of places that they're living or things that they're doing, and can evolve multiple times through one lifetime. So we're talking a water rye. And kids from a water rye, and I mean, I know what it is, but I don't think this character does. And something else. So, and they were practically seaborn, but see, they'd found out that some of their family wasn't able to go home, because if they went home, then a curse would take them. And they went after it, and they never came back. So I came looking for them, and it's that house. People saw them go in. No one saw them come out. I didn't see them while I was in there either. Sure heard them, though. Sure did. He looks sad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, hey. Oh, you're Sumo Sore, aren't you?
Of course he's a wrestling fan. Of course he is.
Oh, wow. Oh, I shoulda. Do you want to sit? Oh, I'm glad that you're. I wouldn't mind if you broke my house. It'd be okay.
Would you like a bun? And he'll share some snacks.
Oh,
You should offer to autograph his peg leg.
yeah.
I was gonna say sign his house if you break it.
floor, giggling absolutely hysterically.
Does
It's not-
Ukata say that out loud?
No.
Oh, damn. All right. Because,
There is now a flying snake hissing, laughing on the ground.
is that your pet? Is she having a seizure?
Oh no.
Empress, at hearing this, shoots up and is like, "Excuse me, I am not a pet!"
Headphones.
Empress, we need something here.
Headphones.
Empress, we need something, and Jocelyn, we're wearing headphones.
Sorry.
We need something here. Now's not the time for pride.
Empress just huffs and flies outside, clearly very pissed.
That's a
You'll
weird
have to
pet
you'll
show.
have to forgive them. They're very passionate.
Okay. Hey, would you sign my leg?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He hands you a knife.
Flop.
Yep. So he is definitely more cheerful now if you guys want to ask any more questions. Especially if Sumosaur wants to ask any of those questions.
I will let Sumosaur start carving and give it a second. and like let that moment establish itself. And then
Okay.
say what anything more?
There's a yes. Diamond just has to check a note real quick. Ah, I could do that. There's one more thing. He makes you wait until Sumosaur is done signing his
Mhm.
leg. And does Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
aware of what's happening.
And once that's done, he like very excitedly thanks you and then goes to he goes into another room. It has 2 rooms. And you know, you hear the sound of unlocking and opening something. And he brings out something and he says, I know they were there because I found this there. And it is a compass. And it's a compact style compass so that it closes, opens, you have a compass. The cover of it is a inlaid old school sailing ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has words on it in Sylvan. Do any of you speak Sylvan?
It's a very good question.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
Okay.
I
Nope.
will in a minute.
Okay. Well, let me know when that happens. So there's words on it in Sylvan, and on the inside, it has a it says saison on the inside cover in like
Mhm.
super pretty inlaid filigree stuff, and it's a beautiful compass. It's clearly a working fantastic piece, but it's also gorgeous. I'm saying it's well made and stuff. And he says, this was Sherry's. I'd recognize it anywhere. And finding it in that house, I know it was hers. I think that you could help her find her way out if she's still there with this.
You're willing to loan it to us?
No. But I'm willing to give it to one
That
of
works.
the heroes. Hands it to Sumosaur.
I do not object in the slightest.
I show like a deep appreciation for for the respect and honor of this, and hold it well.
He's a little tearful. His nose is a little red.
I'll give him a hug.
Is there any
He's like a quarter of your height. This is great. I love
is
it.
there
It's
is there
really
any
happy.
tech in this house? I know he's an old salt. Is there any like, Macintosh in the corner or anything?
Nah, he's a public library kind of dude.
Okay. I was gonna send him a photo of himself with Sumosaur, but I don't know how to send it to him. Nothing I have is a hard copy.
You could ask him.
Do you have anything that can receive files? And I tap my glasses.
Oh, you got the fancy picture ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a I have a home address here. Like, writes it on a scrap of napkin for you.
AOL.com.
Yep.
Would you like a photo with the champion?
Yeah, that'd be
And
great.
I'm immediately taking a photographer's stance of like wedding
Alright.
photographer mode of like, okay, move in.
Excellent.
I guess way down here, so I'm like,
Yeah. Do that thing where like you're pretending to punch him, but like
You could pick him up and he wouldn't mind. Pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure you could pick him up. I mean, I'd make you do a strength check, but that's just for the lols.
and I do what a accomplished photographer does. I take 20 pictures so that I can send the best ones.
excellent.
Click, 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 click.
This is an amazing day. I'm sure that Sherry and Locke will be all right if you're the one trying to help them rest.
We'll do our best.
Always do. It's good to have famous people on your team. I guess.
Yeah.
Fame is a superpower.
This guy has a "Can you smell what the Rock is cooking" tattoo on his ass, and we walked in with Dwayne Johnson. Like, can we ask some questions?
Yeah. You walked in with Dwayne Johnson, and it took him a second because he was so pissed that you were there. Just he's trying to learn to Zen, man, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So, did you at any point refer to him by the name Eggs? Did that ever happen? You just said we're here. All right, cool. Well,
I like since you mentioned it, I wasn't sure if it was a derogatory name, so I avoided it.
that was a good idea. Meow. Whose cat was that?
Mine.
Okay, Fancy Nancy.
No, it's Tom, but he seems to think that there's something in the garage he really wants.
Oh.
He's
All
wrong.
right. Anything else you want to?
For my phone.
What?
Hmm.
I found
think-
a charger for my. It was about to die, so
Oh. Glad you found a charger.
yeah, I can stay on.
Anything else you're doing?
If there's nothing else he wants to tell us, I thank him very much for his time.
As you're leaving,
Mm-hmm.
I assume that just segued to you leaving,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
As you're
Friendly,
leaving,
when everyone else goes, we'll take a moment and say, I'd like to delve into your thoughts,
Oh God.
into the memory of the day that you went forward, and I will hold up a gold piece in my hand.
he holds
It's
up,
easier if you don't resist.
he holds up the number 2.
Having had them prepared, he chink, and he had another coin behind it.
Of course he did.
Could I get a cliche point for playing right into my flaw?
You
I
can.
know.
You can. Absolutely. Penny, cliche points are like points of inspiration. In this game, you're allowed to choose either. If I say you get a point of inspiration, you can go with cliche point. A cliche point basically allows you to act out a cliche and have the thing do what you want it to do. Like, the thing's going to explode as I'm walking away super cool, or whatever. So
Okay.
it's a cliche from
I keep
visual
forgetting
media.
about those.
It's
And-
kind of an extra list of stuff an inspiration point can do, besides just give advantage.
And I unfortunately take after Thomas's GM style in that I'm constantly forgetting to give them out. So if you think you deserve one, you should say it to me because it helps.
I'm sure I've used a few cliches and didn't think about it.
Hey,
I will cast Detect Thoughts,
he will not resist.
and I will go straight into the dive. Like, remember that day for me.
And he does. He remembers. I'm just going to give you some rough detail. You tell me where you need me to fill it in. He remembers this this overwhelming sense of urgency and loss, and he really loved Sherry and Locke. And you get a good visual sense of what they looked like, and they're siblings, they're gorgeous, they're pirates. Oh, not just a seaman, absolutely a pirate. They
Nice.
they were fantastic and a little blue. They were blue, literally.
If they were green, they would die.
They and he, in that sense of like you get older in your life and you meet someone who does everything that you've ever done but better and you're just awed by them. He loved them like that. Very, very parental, right?
Yeah.
And
All right, I immediately just
Okay.
swipe away all the emotional crap.
But I'm telling you the emotional crap.
I know, and he immediately is just like swipe up. I need.
Yeah.
But he's looking for like it just like fast forward to moment of entry, like approach moment of entry, and events going forward from there until assuming he probably passed out somewhere on the street from blood loss.
So it's not a perfect memory, and you'll notice that there are some chunks that are missing, which does tend to happen with traumatic memories. Brain is not a perfect recorder. So he went in, and then he became unconscious, and he wakes up and it is dark and it is storming. And he sees he's on the wait, how are we doing this? Come on. Sorry, I'm getting part of the map in my head and letting you know which parts he engaged with. He goes into what's probably a dining room and goes to a corner where he thinks he hears someone crying. And as he's leaving the dining room, the fireplace that's in there like shoots out flame and looks like the house is burning, and he runs and trips and falls and hits his head like a damn fool. Wakes up, like is out for a little bit, wakes up, is a little disoriented, but nothing's been burned, feels confusion, and sees a suit of armor. And this is going to be northeast corner of the house, because I know you're keeping track here. Northeast corner. Sees a suit of armor and goes to touch it, and it starts moving. And then there becomes an outline of a ghostly dragonborn form in it, which calls his name in Locke's voice. It doesn't look like Locke. And he runs and cannot get out the front door, goes to run up the stairs, and one of there are two sets of stairs at this entryway, and one set is completely destroyed. But he looks over at that area and sees that same dragonborn form, only like a mirror image of it, alive but not exactly, rushing up the stairs on the other side and looking wildly to the left. He goes into a room directly ahead and hides. And he's terrified, right? And is calming his breathing, and he sees on the bed that's in this bedroom. This is going to be direct north, second story. The compass that he handed to, and he recognizes it and feels a sense of joy and then fear because he knows Sherry was here. That means she was here, which means Locke was here, because Locke wouldn't leave Sherry. So he goes and grabs it, and as he's grabbing it, he feels something on his leg and looks down, and there's this like pulsing mass, and it feels like it's suddenly piercing him, and it is extreme pain. And he screams and runs out of the house. They can get out the front door this time. And then, yeah, passes out in the street because of blood loss.
I will rewind and replay in slow motion several times the memory, and though no one will ever know, he spends a little extra time on the moment of injury, just to and then he'll check that all of that emotional input, just because
Okay.
and then yeah, he will keep that handy and head back to the rest of the group.
Well, that was exciting. What does the rest of the group do? As you were leaving Tuesday, I didn't want to interrupt the story flow, but as you all were leaving, he says he gruffly said that you should get your affairs in order before you go into that house.
Yeah. Outside of their mind, how long did this memory share take? Was it the same
Thomas?
amount of time, or
About 1 minute.
while
That's
while
the
they're
concentration time.
while they were doing that, Tuesday was silently going on the internet and finding some sort of Shutterfly type site, and has already sent the photos to him.
Excellent. He'll get to come out and get a hit of dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he's gonna need that. You just made him relive one of the worst memories of his life. Good job, Thomas. You bag of
Shit.
things. You bag of giant clams.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't specifically say in the spell that he goes, that it dredges it up for him, just that I go down in and get it. So it's up to you. If he did, it wouldn't
Geoduck.
stop me.
That's what
I'll
you
just
are.
let
You're
know.
a bag of geoducks.
So we need to find a place to sit down and strategize. I have a partial map, a series of events, and a dossier with some lore, I believe, is crucial.
You still have apartments, or not apartments, but you still have a rooms at the casino.
All right.
I'd prefer just any old tavern on the way.
Yeah. Whatever's closest.
Wouldn't do to barge in the middle of their lunch, and so sorry, I could actually have made it. And we're in a hurry, obviously.
Yes, the children.
So you're in a more depressed area of town, but there's a, there's the Little Red Lion over here. We're going to call it the Little Red Lion now, too, because I can. You know exactly where you're going. Penny,
I love the Eureka references you put into this game that's broadcast to the World Wide Web.
If you thought the Shanty was a dive bar,
Oh my god.
let me introduce you to the only place I can get a warm Guinness. Anyway. I mean, honestly, anyway.
I don't drink and I know it's a shitty bar.
It's not a shitty bar depending on what you're looking for, but it is the punk bar. So this is that. Yeah. It's not the Schooner, okay?
I take 1 minute to cast illusory script, and this I create essentially a map with a graphic novel and a second page that is the map of the graphic novel is like the point by point stuff that happened to Locke, and then the other page is that dossier and curated blog quotes from the archive about Abera, the Lord of Trapdoors.
Lord of the Trapdoor.
Mhm.
Do you mean the stuff that happened to Eggs?
Eggs, sorry. Locke? Wait,
Locke and
Who's Locke?
Sherry are the two people who went
Right.
into the house.
that's right. Okay.
Locke and Sherry, and it belonged to Sherry, but the compass says Saison. And also,
and I read that now.
oh, it's a ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. That's what it says on the compass. In Sylvan.
So go die in a haunted house.
The other thing was, I just have to tell you, since you may never see him again, the guy's name was Barette. Like Barette's Privateers.
Which guy?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Oh, okay.
Because Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs.
Eggs. And the main Trent carried off both me legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's in my head. Well, I know what I'm listening to after this. If you're not familiar with Barrett's Privateers, go look it up. Anyway. So that's what happens when Diamond makes a pirate character. She makes a privateer that dies. And so you guys are in the punk bar at lunch having a conversation about a haunted house, right?
Yes.
Utada, you were getting all of the looks. I have no idea what your perception is, but you were getting many of the looks from those few still drunk patrons at this bar.
Well, it's only to be expected. Everyone else here is boring.
The lunchtime drunks.
Hey, it's an important role.
If anyone has the right to judge, it's those people.
Jocelyn, did you rejoin them?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm still very clearly pissed.
So you have an angry hissing snake. An
With
honored,
venom.
a venomous, angry hissing snake, a honored pan-ceran, a on-the-job tabaxi, and an on-the-job winari, and a not quite so bored dragonborn.
Yeah, still mostly clueless, but enjoying the ride.
That's
Walk into a bar.
Hey, you're at a tavern. Great time to get to know each other. All right. Planning session is go. Go. This is all
I'm assuming
character.
Friendly had something in mind, so I'm letting him start.
So he will present the information. I mean, he spends a minute making a written handout. Lets the information sink in for a minute. Any questions? Like, now you know what he found out.
You're a cleric, right?
Yes.
Does that mean you're equipped to handle undead threats?
It does.
Fantastic.
Right. There are
Anything we need to equip
certainly
ourselves with first in your purview?
silver.
Like silvered weapons or
Whatever you have. A spoon will do the trick if it needs to. Magical weapons should also do. Just general undead fighting. We may be dealing with a ghost or a wraith or a poltergeist, or they have a wide variety of resistances, but most we're generally well prepared for, but the one that always gets you is silver.
Isn't there some sort of ritual we can do for holy water?
I'm sure someone could do that. I'm not positive what the process is for creating holy water. I think it's a ceremony spell. That's what I'm looking at now. Bless water. Yep. That takes like 1 hour per dose.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have some because it's also a spell component for lots of stuff.
Yeah.
I also have prepared a magic circle, and I can cast it against undead. So if we can, with this map that we have portions of, intuit anything about where we need to go or what we need to do, we can find a defensible point, perhaps, to set up the circle. It's not fast. It takes a minute, and I'll be engaged. I mean, Rook will be there with the Wand of Paralysis, but I'll be busy.
Not sure how much help I'll be in this. Alright, I'm not well equipped to fight ghosts. But I'm happy to tag along and see how best I can be of help.
Empress at this point speaks up, still mad, but no longer dripping venom, and is like, I have remembered one detail, and I do not know if this is helpful, but the circus master I mentioned earlier, when we were talking about the behavior of whatever the girl's name was, I remember he was a dragonborn. And that we also found an arm of his. I don't know why I didn't remember this earlier, but we did find his arm. That is all we have ever found of him. If it's help, I escaped before I ever got any more news of him. But if it is helpful, there I can tell you what I know of him.
If your suspicions are correct, and it aligns with what seems to be going on in the lore and with our pirate friend's memories, you should go ahead and mentally prepare yourself to face a ghostly apparition of the circus master.
She nods and is like, I
No,
have been. The day I left, I knew I would run into one or more of the people who hurt me back then, and I am not afraid to face them. However, if they're a ghost, I kind of can't fight them, which I really wish to do.
Well, if that is what would soothe your mental state, then perhaps you should prepare enchantments that would allow you to do so. I believe druids have such things.
She nods. We do.
Local church. Is there a local church?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
assume so.
Yeah.
There'll be a chapel in this neighborhood for families of sailors to pray at, for one thing.
That makes sense. They may also have.
I'm sure there's a
resources
proper medieval church somewhere in the fancy town, but there'll be a working church here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Got a Foursquare here, and you got a Baptist up there. The Seventh-day Adventists aren't in town. Sorry, I'm just yeah.
If you think you need equipment or if there's something we can do, that might be the best place. Such things take preparation that I just don't have time for if we're going to make any sort of difference.
Utada, there are certainly a bar full of people who look like they're very interested in talking to you if you feel like asking.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Do any of them look like they've bathed recently?
The bartender.
Ooh, that's my only option.
Sorry.
Eh,
Oh, you know what?
excuse
There's
me.
usually like one slimy school guy in the afternoon.
Hmm.
So you got a couple of people.
A slimy school guy.
Man, you know who I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You all know who I mean. Anyway, so there's a couple of those too. So yeah, who would
Okay,
you like to
well-
approach?
That could just be because it's like 10:30 and I'm tired, and I also have to double task babysitting. So
Don't worry, we're reaching the end of this episode. We're almost there.
I'll just pick whoever's closest. And excuse me, could you direct us to the nearest church?
Why are you looking to get married, baby? Everyone laughs. There's a
Oh,
clapping.
Empress is offended on her behalf.
Tuesday starts to reach for her gun and stops herself.
Just
Diamond's
lean
offended.
back with my tea. Light him up.
Empress also very clearly
Okay.
shows her teeth.
So, well, I hadn't thought about it, but I don't know. Is your son looking?
From the crowd. Oh! Why you gotta do me dirty like that? Oh!
We are a party of diplomats.
As the laughter dies down, you've correctly done the shibboleth for drunk afternoon assholes, and he's like, yeah, it's all right, honey. Sweetheart, it's just, and he gives you directions to where the church is, but you know, I could be I could be my son if you need me to be. We don't have to get married.
Oh, that's not a sexy sentence you just
I
said.
know. No, it isn't. God, I used to enjoy
Empress
being.
just bangs her head against the TV very loudly, is laughing and groaning at the same time, while his
So's most of the bar. But you have directions to the church now.
Yeah.
Okay. On our way out, I thank him and I give him a little kiss right up here and leave sparkly pink lipstick on his forehead.
Empress bangs,
Excellent.
but also laughs because that was just smooth.
He will be extremely happy about this and a little embarrassed by how happy he is.
Oh, yes.
It's
And in about
suddenly
6 weeks,
wholesome. He doesn't know how to deal with suddenly wholesome.
and in about 6 weeks, he's going to tell this story completely differently.
Absolutely.
you know.
But all right. Anything else you guys are doing at the Little Red Lion before you head to the church?
Nah.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that we can get to a good stopping point. I don't really want to play a church right now. What are you purchasing at the church?
Do they have anything silver?
Altar boys.
Oh God.
Okay, we're definitely role playing that.
Holy
I-
water.
Holy
Just-
water, some silver daggers would be awesome, but I don't know what they're.
I will offer to change out any silver they have in the offering plate with gold out of my pocket.
They will take you up on that offer.
Because, you know, a shotgun full of dimes is just as good as a custom made silver buckshot.
Yeah, it is. They will take you up on that offer. They're able to get you, what is the size holy water is going to be sold in? Is vials standard?
Vial.
Yeah, vials.
Vial.
Okay. So they can get you, they have about 16 ounces they can easily sell you. They don't normally even have that much, but they find more because you've told them that you're going to the house on the hill, and they think you're going to die if they don't give you enough.
They're
So they go-
probably right.
Looking in all the cabinets, right?
Yep. Also, you're not talking to, the priest you're talking to is absolutely also drunk.
Excellent.
Cool.
I would also like the
Town.
whereabouts of the Dropwort's graves.
Good call.
He, like, I don't know who the church is dedicated to, but he does the equivalent of the sign of the cross for whoever it's dedicated to. I'm so bad with deities. But the,
Mhm.
like, there aren't,
Manon MacLear.
what?
Manon MacLear, the Irish god of the sea. There you go.
Okay. Still probably be the sign of the cross. Damn it. Anyway, but yeah, makes a sign, and that family didn't have ground that they were put into.
Yeah.
Mausoleum time.
All disappeared in the house.
I don't know for sure,
Hmm.
but there's no graves with that name on it.
Hmm.
Cause it's more fun this way. La 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 la.
On the plus side, the
But it
holy
was-
water is probably seawater.
Yep. Tastes like the tears of thine enemies.
What are the chances of finding silver daggers in this town?
You could go to the market and roll an investigation check. There are places that sell gentlemen's weaponry, but it would take you about at least an hour.
My gun is useless against ghosts. It looks like so. Yeah.
Doesn't it do fire damage though?
I thought you said only magic hurts them.
I didn't say that.
I thought the cleric said only magic hurts them.
I said that's what's likely to get around any resistance. Like it often depends on the undead. Like fire's good for some, cold's good for others.
It's if I can
Magic is
find
the
some
Swiss
silver
Army knife.
daggers, it feels worth the effort.
Okay, then what's your investigation check?
17.
You're able to find 2 good ones and 1 shitty one.
How much?
I have no idea how much a silver dagger costs. An unreasonable amount, because at least one of them has a pearl inlaid handle, because they're gentlemen's weapons.
I
The
tell them
shitty
where
one's
we're
free.
going.
They still want your money.
Yeah.
Merchant Town.
Yeah, I know.
Now
Uh,
you definitely have to pay up front.
Yeah.
I need a number so I can agree to it.
How much does a silver dagger cost? I don't have prices in my head.
I mean,
I'm looking it up.
and not to be that guy, we still don't know how much our legal was worth when we cashed it in.
It's true. I know you're that. I know. I've been too busy trying to build the
Wait,
monstrosity.
Diamond, we could also just not worry about it and say I bought them because Tuesday never buys anything. The last thing I
It's
bought
true.
was replacement handcuffs.
That's true. It'll be a few hundred gold, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to break the bank on you people who they got a treasure hoard early on.
Hmm.
The jerks.
So yeah, I buy 3 silver daggers, one of which is terrible.
Yeah, you throw that one.
It's the one that somebody put through the dishwasher.
Oh god. Or garbage disposal.
Or both.
Anyway. Any other preparations?
Or give it to the snake who can wave it around with her tail.
Or not for that exact reason.
You are a druid. You have spells.
Yeah.
Use the spells.
No,
If you're using a
it's
dagger, we're screwed.
All right.
Exactly. Doesn't
Any
mean
other
I can't make.
Okay, I bite all three. I buy all three, and I slip them inside pockets in my jacket.
If there are any healing potions going spare, I wouldn't mind picking a few of those up.
Same.
Y'all can find 3 regular and 2 large. 2 venti. I want there to be a Starbucks that does potions now. I'm gonna have to build that for the future.
You wouldn't even have to change the name.
Exactly. It'd be great. And those are going to be, I don't know what standard prices are. You can also potentially trade for them. Yeah.
Yeah, we can afford them.
Yeah, you can. Anything else?
I burned down the shop.
Please don't.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Sumasor, Thomas, Utada, Jocelyn, because I'm saying all the wrong names. Everyone's good to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk up to the house, which, as we stated when you came into town, is on the highest point over on a bluff overlooking the river below it. Let's see, that's be the east side of town, the fancy side of town. And all the other houses seem like they're pretty far away from it, and the lot is decrepit and overgrown, and the rusted iron fences, and the house just looks dark. Like you don't know if it was like it should have been painted, but man, it's gray. It's also enormous. This is a mansion. The front door there's no windows on the front door, and as you're approaching, you cannot see in any of the windows. They all seem to have curtains drawn or boards over them. Nothing is new. Everything is old and gray and rotten. And as you're approaching it, it is no insight check. You get a sense of foreboding. Anyone doing anything before? Tell me about entering and what your marching order is.
Unless the cleric indicates otherwise, I will take the lead.
I'll be behind you.
Like I'm aware I'm out of my element here, but I'm also on duty.
I will cast Detect Evil and Good.
And go blind.
And specify Undead. Because while it says evil and good, it's not like a good evil detection. It's a creature ping. So specify Undead.
It just gives you a creature ping in a 3-dimensional field around you, or for how far?
Within 30 feet. Anywhere in 30 feet.
I'm just seeing the map in my head, which we'll get you to in a moment.
Right. Go ahead. There is a second thing, but what's that first thing?
There are some immediate pings at the furthest end on the northeast.
Just like pointing past Tuesday, like a little ways over your shoulder, so you can like ding. Also, I can tell if a place or object within 30 feet has been magically consecrated or desecrated. I have a feeling.
Everything around you lights up for desecrated.
Okay, this place is definitely.
Whole place.
My eyes!
Yeah. part of where
Em-
that sense of foreboding comes from.
On Pumasaur's shoulder.
Okay.
I put on my gloves and I cast light cantrip on my left palm.
Cool. And this is the way we enter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You all enter into a grand ballroom entryway. And since we're not all in Roll20, you'll just see the map next week. A grand ballroom entryway with a tiled floor, 2 sets of swooping stairs going up to a second floor landing on either side. One on the left set of stairs has been destroyed and is falling apart. As you all enter and the door closes behind you, you hear a giggle, and down the one still good set of stairs comes bouncing a bright pink ball. Bink, 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 bink.
Oh.
And I need you all to make a Constitution save.
Oh, thank God. That is not a strong suit, so a die roll is appreciated. A good die roll.
Constitution save. I got 26.
I got a 19, because that's what I rolled on the die.
That's what I rolled too.
Well, yeah. You're a dinosaur. I'm a cat.
Would you like me to roll for you, Penny, or want someone else to roll for you?
Sure, go ahead. That's fine.
So I do still actually have you open here. And
Oh,
I
good.
can do that. It's just a straight Constitution.
Also 19.
You might actually want to have someone else roll for you.
You don't want my dice karma.
I just rolled a natural 1, so how about no?
Okay.
That's what happens when the DM does your rolling for you.
Yeah, don't do that.
At my
Jocelyn, what?
do I have any modifiers like
It's
add-
just, it's a whatever your modifier is for Constitution.
Constitution? I think it's a 2.
Well then, roll a d20 and add 2.
So then
The little snake is that tough.
Yeah, it's true. You're more dexterous than anything.
very true. Rolled a 17, 18, 19.
Okay.
If the stupid die would land somewhere I could see it. 15.
Okay. So as you were watching this ball bounce towards you, wait, Jocelyn, you got a what?
19.
Okay, thank you. As you were watching this ball bounce towards you, you all start feeling a little funny. Utada, you become unconscious. And
Oh, no.
then Tuesday, Friendly, and Empress all become unconscious. And Sumosaur, you are watching this happen. Your friends are falling around you, and you are starting to fall, and you're one knee down, and you see a doll look out at you from up the stairs as you become unconscious. And that is where we're going to cut this episode, with everyone passed out on the entrance to a haunted house.
The
Oh
end.
boy.
So what's everyone's next character?
if you're
Dang.
if you're enjoying this and want to see more of the dungeon that I've been craftily, excitedly building for way too long now, give us hit subscribe. If you're enjoying this so far, give us a like. If you want to see us get better, head on over to the Game Breakers main page where we would happily take your monies. I got a coffee below if you like my ideas or want me to make a module out of this. And there's probably goodbye words here. I'm still Diamond. These are Jocelyn, Thomas, Penny, David, and Allison. We're part of Game Breakers, and we hope that you have a fantastic and not at all spooky evening. Farewell.
Bye.